before I tell you of my journeys. One, letters. Did you know I wrote letters? Yeah, well, that was loud. And the second, I want to talk about women. And there are a lot of you here tonight. We'll talk of letters first, yes? All right, how many letters did I write that are in your book? What was that? 13. It says 13. Is he right? No. Yet, you have 13 of letters that say from Paul in your book. You're absolutely right. But only 7 of them are mine. Did you know that? Only 7 of them are mine. I wrote the one you say to the first letter to the church in Thessalonica. I wrote this one. I wrote the one to the church in Galatia, to the church in Philippi. I wrote to the church in Corinth. I wrote to my good friend Philemon, and I wrote to the church in Rome. Do you know how the others you know are not mine? Some of them mention things that happened after I was dead. Yeah, that would be a miracle, yes? Yes, but I do believe in a God of miracles. I want you to know that in my letters, only one of my letters are in my hand. All the rest of them, I spoke them out, and someone took it down, a scribe, and wrote it out, and they were taken to the churches, and they were proclaimed. Also, other than the one to my friend Philemon, every letter I wrote was to a church that I started, except the one to the church in Rome. I did not start that church. But I planned to go to that church, and they were hearing all these things about me, and I wanted to go, and I wanted to write my letter first so they would know who I was, what I believed, what I understood to be the truth. So that's why I wrote these letters. Now, I understand that some people have said that my letters are confusing. Do you have this? Yes? Have you heard this? Oh, yes, and some people even say that my letters, they contradict themselves. Have you heard this? Yes, and some people say they go on forever. There's these long sentences. Have you heard this? Well, let me tell you something. You should be not angry at me, but the people who edited my letters. If you read the letters the way I wrote them, you would love the letters. Let me tell you this. How many letters did I write to the church of Corinth? 2 letters. No. That's how many you have in your book, yes? But I wrote 5. Someone took my 5 letters and merged them together into 2. Who would do this? 5 letters I wrote at 5 different times to 5 different groups of people for 5 different sets of problems. Someone took my 5 letters and merged them together into 2. No wonder you are confused. I wrote my letters over a 20-year span of time. Of course, I change, yes? When you come to Jesus, no one can come to Jesus and remain the same. Your life must change. Does your life change in Jesus? Yes? Well, of course it does. So why is it all right for you but not fine for me? Another reason you have a problem with me. Can you tell me what order they put my letters in your book? Any one of you? You don't know. You read me all the time. I am the one you read, you love so much, you don't know about me? What order? Would you like me to tell you? You will not even believe this. When I heard this, I was angry. They put my letters in your book, longest to shortest. Does that even make sense? No. They should have put it in the order I wrote them, yes? No wonder you'll find them twisted or contradictory. They did them in the wrong order. Who would do this with my writings? Who would take what I did and do this? Now, I want to say that my letters were the oldest letters you have that talk about Jesus. And for this, I am pleased to know that somehow in history, something that I wrote is telling the word of Jesus. This is a wonderful thing for me, yes? Well, what other questions do you have? I want to say, you're mad about the long sentences, yes? In my day, we don't have the punctuation. We have no period, no what do you say, that thing that does this, the comma, we have no paragraph. We write that whoever put those in my letters, that's who you must be mad at, not me. All right, any other questions on my letters? Good answer.